I call it the tapes you play in your head. I wrote a book about. I've discovered that highly successful people are really good about having these conversations with themselves to propel them through the moment or propel them to where they're going. Do you have a certain conversation you have with yourself, or certain sayings or stuff you've heard from people that you rehash? Like a friend of mine that went to Roswell High School, I don't know if you remember this kid named Tony Phillips. So he was my age. He went and played Major League Baseball, and he told me that that he always said, my shit always works out.
Yeah.
And he just had that saying that every he got somewhere, and he's like, he just kept saying it, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that you?
One of the
thoughts and stuff.
One of the things I think that was hard for me is I went to Roswell High School, right? I mean, I didn't go to Exeter or something.
Right.
I mean, I went to public high school.
Right.
I went to public university, and I was a C student, and so for me, like, my secret to my success, I've just worked my ass off, right?
Right.
I mean, I really have. I've worked incredibly hard, but I think for guys like us, you get to a point where you go like, I've done pretty well, but it's just kind of fluky, I don't really deserve this. I don't really deserve to be here. And there's a great guy that is a friend of mine named Tommy Newberry.
Yeah.
Who's written a couple of fantastic books. Success is Not an Accident is one of my favorite books I've ever read. And I work with Tommy. He helps me, coaches me, tries to make me better at what I do in basically every aspect of my life. But I think the title of that book, Success is Not an Accident. It's not.
No.
I mean, you deserve to be there, and you are as good as you think you are.
So you're talking to yourself that I've put in the work to be here.
Right. And no one else is going to work harder than I am, and no one else is surrounded by better people.
I'm gonna outwork you.
I'm gonna outwork you. I'm gonna outflank you. I'm gonna outrun you. But I think sometimes it's hard to get yourself over that hump of I deserve to be here. I've earned my seat at the table, and
when did you feel like you deserved to be here?
I don't think I did until I started working with Tommy, and he has a it's interesting because it's a little cultish, but he has these recordings that he plays where you're basically it's theoretically you're talking to yourself and you're saying like
I can do it. I believe in myself.
Yeah, and what I find
affirmations.
They're affirmations, and what I find where I find myself using those the most is when I'm playing golf, because if you're a golfer, it's you can have a great day and you can have one hole, and next thing you know, you're like you are just beating yourself. If you were sitting next to you on an airplane, you'd punch you in the nose.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you would never let somebody talk to you the way you talk to yourself.
Right.
And yet, we will just beat ourselves up over the simplest things. And so I find myself on the golf course, having to kind of talk my way through mentally that, that I am good at this game, and I have put in the time and the energy and effort.
I've hit the balls.
And I've taken the lessons, and I've got the right equipment, and this positive thoughts instead of God, you suck. Which is, you hear people say on a golf course all the time, they hit a bad ball today. I just suck. You don't do this for a living, I mean, come on, you play.
Right, it's supposed to be for fun.
Right, you play 20 times a year. I mean, come on. You're not, you just win the Masters.
Right.
So I think there's a lot. When I first started working with Tommy and he started down that path, I thought, this is weird. And then the more I thought about sort of the way we talk to ourselves and that voice in our head, I really do think there's a lot there. There's a lot of power in that.
I think it's the main thing.
Yeah.
If you can't get excited about going and doing and learning and whatever it is, it's kind of that thing where if you don't have that island you're swimming to, you're never going to get to that island, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. If you had a coworker who followed you around everywhere you went and basically told you suck at everything you do,
you believe you suck.
Probably believe them after a while, and yet that's what we do to ourselves because it's just habit. And so I've really worked on that in the past couple of years of trying to just have a positive self-talk,
a better conversation
soundtrack. Is a positive soundtrack instead of a negative soundtrack. And it's amazing what that does for your for everything, for energy, for your outlook.
That's amazing. I
yeah,
agree with you.
It's amazing.